Today, from M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland, this is Madden NFL 21. Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens versus Mitchell Trubisky and the Chicago Bears.
Autumn has arrived in the mid-Atlantic region of the U.S., and it is a glorious afternoon at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore. The two teams emerging from their respective tunnels a minute ago to the approval of this Baltimore crowd. They're all set as their Ravens will match up with the Chicago Bears.
Pat O'Donnell to kick off for Chicago.
Set to go now on a beautiful sunny afternoon. And off we go from M&T Bank Stadium. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked out officially at the 21. The Ravens offense going to work, and as usual, it's Lamar Jackson, the former MVP of the league, at the helm.
And no one can run the football like Lamar Jackson from the quarterback position. The most dynamic guy with the ball in his hands since probably Michael Vick. Got more accurate throwing the football each and every year at Louisville. But how about this one? A first-round pick in 2017, the number 32 pick of the first round. The last guy to do that at Louisville, Teddy Bridgewater, the same exact pick when he came out.
They'll throw on first down with Jackson. Flush to his right. He'll run it. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's second down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down.
And right away, he lost the football. Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback get hit.
So possession still theirs, but now they face a third down. From the gun, it's Jackson. This one complete to Ingram. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. Call it a pickup of 3, and also now likely a punt on their opening drive. On is the punter, Cook, who sends it away. Here comes Cohen. It'll be a net of only 30 here. 40-yard punt, 10 on the return. And the Bears take over. Mitchell Trubisky taking the field to lead Chicago. Trubisky, the Ohio native, went to North Carolina, then drafted by these Bears as the number 2 pick in 2017.
And one of the few knocks on him coming out of North Carolina was just actual game experience, just 13 starts in college. But he works so hard at making up for that lost time. He loves the game, crazy about the film room, and guys just naturally gravitate towards him. I think he's got a chance to be an excellent leader and player.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. Well, this crowd does not like that call.
Understandable reaction from them. That's their team that the penalty's going against. But you and I both know they're going to take care of the quarterback.
So now a fresh set of downs. 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. From the gun, it's Trubisky. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. Here's 2nd and 10.
It's 2nd down and 10.
From the shotgun is Trubisky. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
And throw incomplete as well.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts, this time on third down.
O'Donnell, he's on to punt as he gets this one away. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. Baltimore set to take over here for their second possession of the game. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
On second down, it's Ingram. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting third and about 4 to go.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Jackson. That's caught by the former Sooner, Mark Andrews. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. First time these two have hooked up this afternoon, and it's a first down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players. Somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You get better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
No gain on the play. Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 45-yard line.
Second down, Ingram. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 11 yards there, first down.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
Jackson on first down, under a heavy rush, and down he goes. The sack by Robert Quinn.
The tackle made back at the 47-yard line.
Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
On second down now, it's Ingram, and this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. Just a 1-yard loss that time, but that's not what they needed. Now they're dealing with a 3rd and long.
Sometimes in the run game, you can make the argument that quickness beats size. And how about the example right here?
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. From the gun, Jackson steps away to his left. Room to run inside the 40. We're scoreless after 1.
With no score.
Second quarter now from Baltimore. It's the Ravens in possession as they've got it, looking at a 4th down and 2.
Justin Tucker on for the field goal. A 53-yard attempt.
And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And the Ravens strike first at 3-zip.
Bears nothing.
These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Chicago works their way back onto the field here for their second drive of the game. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you.
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
In a blink of an eye, that happened fast, and a big sack. Second and 14. Out of the gun, Trubisky. And quickly into the hands of Robinson. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down.
It's a gain of 7.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Now this throw caught left side. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys on plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in a bunch. I mean, when you talk about collectively, it's unbelievable. So their ability to move is practiced now. It's not necessarily, oh, he just took off and you guys figure it out. When he takes off, everyone knows where to go now. They know how to run routes, change things, make themselves presentable for the quarterback. It's a lot of time that they put in on.
And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. From 4 yards out, and the Bears have taken the lead. Eddie Pinheiro now for the extra point. And this is up and good to make it 7-3. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And the end result is a Bears touchdown.
Pat O'Donnell to kick off for Chicago.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Fielded in the end zone. And Hill will opt for the touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
Baltimore about ready to go on offense. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Jackson from the shotgun. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Nice play there to force the incompletion, and to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. That's sacked by Khalil Mack.
A 4-yard loss. It's 4th down.
Here's Sam Cook now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time.
Sam Cook on to
A reminder, coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will join us from Orlando with our halftime report. But business to take care of before we get there.
A 2-minute drill before the coach's 2-minute drill.
It'll be a 40-yard punt, 8 on the return, and possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Chicago offense set to get started. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Looking to throw, Trubisky on 1st down. He finds Robinson. There he goes, left side. Touchdown, Chicago. Allen Robinson, 57 yards. And the Bears are able to show off their quick strike ability. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. Well, the offense wasn't out there for a long time, but they were out there for a good time. One play, and they're able to hit pay dirt.
Pat O'Donnell to kick off for Chicago.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Taken in the end zone. And Hill will opt for the touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
This Ravens offense heads back out there, led by Lamar Jackson. And I never played quarterback, but I'm thinking as a quarterback, you're a little bit into the game now. Second quarter, you're losing. You're not playing well. Probably feels like a lot of weight on your shoulders.
Certainly does, but it's something that quarterbacks have to be used to because they're always carrying around that weight. So how do they adjust the weight? How do they make it work for them? How do they work against it? That's what we're going to find out going forward.
Yeah, they'll be trying to get all that weight off his shoulders here on this drive. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. He's got his man. It's Andrews. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
1st and 10 at the 38-yard line.
From the gun, Jackson. That'll be taken in there by Miles Boykin. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. Good work after the catch. Going to net him 23 and a 1st.
I know you're trying not to scoreboard watch, but you only got 3 points. You're kind of hoping that that type of play there gives you some positive momentum going into the half.
Yeah, need to do something to get more than that 3 number that they have on the scoreboard right now. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. And Jackson throwing once more. Looking left side, Andrews with it complete. And he's going to be out of bounds down around the 35-yard line. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. He's got it to Ingram, complete. And he gets it down to the 32. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. The Bears bring out an extra defender in the secondary now for 3rd down. Again, Jackson. And he's got Snead. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 20-yard line.
Did you see that route the way that I did? I thought he was trying to get deep.
Yeah, that wasn't the first option.
No, not it came off of that guy, the deep guy, and came underneath on the drag, completed it very well.
Flushed out right. And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down.
That was an excellent job of recognizing the situation. His first read wasn't there. Heck, his second read wasn't there. But he bought himself a little extra time scrambling out of the pocket, got to the sticks, and picked up the first down.
Buying time, and he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. Lamar Jackson as the first half is winding down, and the Ravens have cut it to within a score.
Well, I'd have to say that for him, that was an all-encompassing drive because it was his arm that got his team down to that point, but his legs that finished the deal. Give him credit for making it happen.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that makes it a 14-10 ball game. On the return, here's the dangerous Cordero Patterson. And a good return, able to get out across the 35 to the 36.
The Bears take over first and 10 at their own 36-yard line.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
He was trying to find Anthony Miller there, but it's going to be second down. They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Final play of the half. It's Trubisky. Going deep this time for Miller. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, right, Brandon. Thanks very much. And welcome in, everyone, to this slimmed-down version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This game's had a little bit of everything thus far, and certainly plenty to look forward to, as the teams are right back out there for the second half. So we'll get right back out there as well, as we'll turn it back over to Brandon Godden.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Set to resume. Here we go with the second half. The Bears holding the lead and ready to receive the kick. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, still a good return. They'll start the drive right around the 37. So here's the Bears offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Again, they'll go around with Montgomery. And a missed tackle there as he pushes forward for a gain of 4.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
And he finds Jimmy Graham. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Well, they only needed a small gain on third down. They end up getting over 30 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. Trubisky leaves with Montgomery on the draw, and he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. 24 yards, and the Bears will add on to their lead. A strong, determined run there, Charles, to get in for 6 points.
This is why it's such a team game, isn't it? And I know it sounds really generic and it sounds almost trite, but the blocks were made up front, offensive line, collective victory at the line of scrimmage and downfield. And how about the finish to the run all the way into the end zone?
Extra point right down the middle, and that makes it a 21-10 game.
Pat O'Donnell to kick off for Chicago.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Fielded in the end zone, and Hill will opt for the touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the second half. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Trying to get it to Willie Snead there, and it's second down. We're in Baltimore, third quarter action, 2nd and 10. To throw again, Jackson. And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it.
Well, coming into this one, we expected that this offense would have trouble with this defense, and that's exactly the way that this game has gone. Pressure in his face. Coverage downfield has been tight. That led to another incompletion. This defense, they're exactly who we thought they were coming into this one. It was no secret who they were trying to get the football to.
Well, no, they went to him on first down, second down, third down, all three incomplete.
Yeah, and when you're unable to connect and you force it in that direction, all you're doing is giving confidence to the defense. They feel like they're really hurting you in a big way.
It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
To Montgomery to begin the drive. And he'll take this one across the 45 up to about the 46-yard line. A gain of 3, second down.
Well, Brandon, I don't think they're making any secret of what they want to do right now. They want to control the clock, keep the ball away from the other team. You just wonder, did they start to shut it down a little bit too early? I think what they're counting on, though, if they continue to move the ball and get significant gains, their energy will stay high, and they won't go into hiding too quickly. Normally, being a big-bodied receiver plays to their advantage downfield. Go up and make the catch, take the hit, and pick up yardage. But in this case, the hit was timed really well and popped it free from his grasp.
And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. A Chicago first down there on a gain of 11.
So that's what that elbow in my ribs was all about. You thought they were going to throw the ball as well.
Absolutely. I think everybody thought they were throwing the football, caught him off guard.
Yeah, I'm telling you, when you have the courage to make that type of a play call, a lot of times you actually get rewarded.
They'll throw on first down with Trubisky. This is caught by Robinson. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
First down, here's the run with Montgomery. And he'll be dropped at the 23 after a pickup of about 4.
Montgomery, the ball carrier.
Well, Brandon, I don't think they're making any secret of what they want to do right now. They want to control the clock, keep the ball away from the other team. You just wonder, did they start to shut it down a little bit too early? I think what they're counting on, though, if they continue to move the ball and get significant gains, their energy will stay high, and they won't go into hiding too quickly.
And his throw is incomplete.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about, and you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent, and that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. And that's knocked away and incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating the defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
The kick by Pinheiro is good. And that will get the lead up to 14.
24, Ravens 10.
So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
Taken in the end zone, and Hill will opt for the touchback.
10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Ravens offense back out there. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Throwing on first down, it's Jackson being chased out left, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Roquan Smith able to take him down. It's a loss of 3. And they brought the pressure there just right up the gut, didn't they?
Yeah, they certainly did. And, you know, when you've got so many different responsibilities as an offensive line, you got to deal with the nose tackle, the 2 defensive tackles or ends, and then sometimes you just can't account for everyone. The linebackers slip free.
So after the sack, they'll come up on a still manageable 2nd and 13. Operating from the gun, Jackson. A short throw caught by Andrews. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
He may try. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Bears. And they bring this one back. A fumble return for a Bears touchdown. The offense, they've had some sloppy moments. Sloppy there again on that one, and it could be the backbreaker.
From a defensive perspective, if the offense is going to be sloppy, you've got to take advantage of that. And that's what they've done all game long.
And they're able to up the lead by 1 more. And they won't be able to run another play. Time has expired on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
For Chicago.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will make it into the end zone. And Hill will opt for the touchback. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. From the gun, Jackson. And a quick throw here that's complete. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and lead the game out that way.
Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete. I want to go back to something you said in the 1st quarter about winning.
Is it a positive?
It is a positive.
Okay.
About winning the turnover battle. As a visiting team, as an underdog, you were right. They've done just that, and look where it's gotten them.
It's part of the formula. When you go on the road, as you mentioned, being an underdog, winning the turnover battle is a big key, and this one's playing out in this one.
Give them 22 there on the 3rd down conversion. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. Akeem Hicks at 6'5", 332 finds his way home for the sack.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Rolling to his right. Excellent work that time to get free, and for his exploits, he's going to be left with just a 3rd and 3. The Ravens on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. Here it's 3rd and 3. And that is incomplete. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. Felt compelled to go for it there on 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a 4th down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You still have to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. That one good for 13 and a Raven 1st down. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now, because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair.
At the Bears' 18-yard line.
So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. No, bottled up, fumble. It's out, it's loose. And this is picked up by the Bears. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the 4th quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. Back out onto the field comes Allen Robinson. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it?
Right.
Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
They'll go to Montgomery to try to wind some clock. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 16 yards right off the bat and a 1st down.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. On the ground, it's Montgomery. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. Marlon Humphrey with the tackle defensively. Good gain there on 1st down. It keeps them in a running situation probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. 5 yards remain on 2nd down. On 2nd down, Montgomery. Call it a gain of 4 there, so it sets up a big play here. 3rd and a yard.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
So this one in the win column for the Chicago Bears. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. From Baltimore, so long, everyone.